Greetings, class. This is 3D applications. We're doing a study of the skull for our final project, phase one, and we're going to start with the profile of the skull. And I have sent you, or will send you along with this, a drawing of dimensions along with pictures that you can refer to. And what we want to end up today with is this. So this is made from measurements that I took off of this and just glued together. And the materials are bamboo skewers. There are thin ones here, which are probably preferred because they're easier to deal with. But if all you can get are these thicker ones, that's fine. You need a hot melt glue gun with a low temperature setting. You might need a tape measure, very handy to have. Scissors or snips. Cardboard, 2 pieces of cardboard, about 8 inches square, glued together with the ribs going crosswise. So then you have strength. And then you need plastic ties. These black ones or white ones. These are long ones and there's short ones. For little ones done this, so we'll show you how to do that too. Okay. So that's the introduction. From here on, probably I'm gonna switch to voiceover, just so because it's easier to describe what I'm doing later rather than in real time. So that's it for the intro. Okay. Okay. I'm gluing together these 2 pieces of cardboard. That's going to be my base. And as you see, the ribs are going in opposite directions to give it strength. Now I'm taking these 3 sticks, and it's 3 because they're going to be stronger. We're going to want a strong post. That's also kind of going to be from the skull down. It's going to be also the spinal column. Now I'm going to be poking some holes. You can poke the holes into the cardboard there before you start or not. I just kind of poke them in there, and then I'm tacking it with glue here. Now you have to know that the more glue that you use, the longer it's going to take for it to cool. So the longer you have to kind of stand there and hold it while it's cooling and tacking together. So if you use a small amount of glue, it'll expedite things greatly. So here I'm marking the points at which we're going to make the profile points, and I'm taking all of the measurements off of the drawing. So even though I've written down measurements there for you, you're probably not going to need them if you just take the measurements off the drawing, either a drawing that you make, or if you can print this up so that's reasonably the same scale. And if you do it off the drawing, then you need to disregard the measurements, because it's likely not going to be in the same scale. So as you can see, the sticks are kind of a little floppy until the glue tacks up and gets strong, and it only gets strong at room temperature. Make your markings and make sure you're fairly accurate here in the beginning. Here I'm actually putting it in the wrong spot, and I'm going to actually see that I've made a huge mistake. And there you go. We're going to put it there. And the clothespin, I put it's hard to buy one closed one, but that's pretty much all you're going to need, because you're going to be gluing one thing at a time pretty much, because of the way that the glue cools and strengthens pretty quickly. So here I am now got all my points, or most of them, and I'm going to start to work with the plastic strips here to get my curves and my arcs. So you can use either black or white. This is, I think these are the 9-inch strips here. And if you need a longer one, you can just glue them together and make a longer strip. Here, this one is just about the right size. So I'm tacking it now in 3 places. And now I'm I'm kind of doing a sort of a lap joint at the back of the skull there, clamping it together, and then I'm going to loop it around under to where that point where I'm going to connect to is really the base of the skull. And here I'm actually pulling it around and gluing it, not right there, but right now I'm kind of gluing it to the wrong side, because I really should be right there. I really should be on this side, so that I can actually glue that plastic strip on top of that that bamboo skewer that's going off towards the front. Because now then I had a difficult time to tack it on. So what I'm doing now is actually altering a little bit the profile, because it looks a little bit too arced and helmet-like. I'm altering the profile and making it, I'm adjusting it a little bit to be more skull-like. And this you can do all along. You can make these adjustments as you need to. But you know, the arcs that this plastic makes is really pretty. It's really pretty good for what we're after here. So far, anyway. Now I'm working on the nose, or what's you know, I'm going from the bridge of the nose, not to the tip of the nose, because there's no bone in the tip of the nose. I'm just going to where it actually ends there. And after that, I'm now working on the lower jaw to lower teeth. And rather than making a separate joint there, I've partially broken this little piece so that it makes a little angle. And I know that these things are kind of fussy right now, because they're at this point, because they're all weak and everything, but they'll get stronger as they get more triangulated. So here I'm making the the nose, and this is our first actual foray into the other dimension of front view, side to side, and this is going to be the only dimensional thing that we go side to side in this particular lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to work that dimension. So here I'm making another little lap joint. Once again, if you use a small amount of glue, let it tack up so it's not so messy and runny, then it actually it works pretty good. And after you've done this for a little while, you'll get the hang of it, and it might actually be pleasant. So you can keep referring to the drawings, particularly also the photographs. Are you going to be? I'm going to be sending you photographs as well of the skulls, and you'll be using the photographs more and more as you go along, because you're going to be we're going to be kind of transiting from just getting from points and dimensionality things to actual form and muscles and that sort of thing. So, but we want a good dimensional structure to start with, which is what all this is about. We're going to let that harden for a bit. So now I'm just kind of fixing it up a little bit. I'm taking out that extra little piece that I didn't need there, that's actually sort of screwing up a little bit the axis. But now it's going to be okay. I'm going to tack that together there. So now I think we're almost done here, and I'm reinforcing some of the joints here so that the whole thing becomes fairly strong. Don't put too much glue in there, because the more glue that you put on a joint, if you put a lot of glue in there, it's going to heat everything up and it's going to start to fall apart. So just best to do little bits at a time, and that way it gains strength. And this is pretty well going to be the end of it for this section of the lesson, and then the next one we're going to start to work into the width of the dimension and get it's going to get more and more skull-like. Okay, so have fun with this, and if you have any questions, text me or email me. And I know you're going to have a great time with this. Bye-bye.